Is the media getting kicked out of the White House? Stay tuned to learn more.
And things are getting heated up as students talk politics at Stanford University. Find out how next.
Also, see how more protests are racing through the Bay. Coming up.
School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Gabriel Evans.
And I'm Sean Robertson. The White House recently announced a change regarding which reporters are allowed in the media pool. How does this affect the news that you consume? Reporter Abel Tarico has the story.
The White House announced on February 25th that they will now be deciding which reporters are allowed in the press pool to cover President Donald Trump. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt claims this decision aims to bring access back to the American people and give more people the responsibility to cover President Trump. This comes after a lawsuit from the Associated Press against 3 Trump administration officials due to being barred from the Oval Office after not using the term Gulf of America. Some are skeptical about the decision and believe it will help the president avoid criticism.
When you don't have critical reporters covering the White House, the president is not held as accountable as he would be otherwise.
The White House Correspondents Association has been responsible for handling the media pool since 1914. They were not notified before the decision was announced. Some in the field of journalism believe this decision can distort history.
As soon as you start silencing some points of view, then you've got an imbalance in the way that stories are told, that history is told.
Other journalists are concerned about how this could set a precedent for different offices in the government.
Local leaders, but statewide leaders and other leaders across the country are going to take note of that, and they're going to say, hey, maybe we can try this out. If the White House is able to do this, why is our office not doing this?
With the new changes in White House media policy, many are left wondering how the news that they rely on will be affected. In San Jose, Abel Tarico, Update News.
In Trump's first months in office, he has created a new government agency focused on improving government spending. However, this new agency is sparking lots of controversy throughout the nation. Reporter Nick Austin has more on the story.
DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency, was created under the Trump administration to manage federal spending and, quote, modernize federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. Multi-billionaire Elon Musk, who was responsible for the creation of brands like Tesla and SpaceX, is now the head of DOGE. Some are concerned about his lack of experience in government and that he was not elected into his current position. Rather, he was appointed as the head of DOGE by President Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's a huge conflict of interest. Elon Musk is an unelected billionaire, and they say that bureaucracy is dangerous because it's a bunch of unelected bureaucrats who weren't elected by the people. But as we saw, he wasn't elected either.
I think having an unelected official, especially who's a billionaire, is unethical.
During DOGE's first months as a government department, they've initiated around $105 billion of government cuts, according to their website. DOGE's budget decisions have also drawn inquiries about the influence of the Project 2025 doctrine, which Trump has previously dismissed.
Well, either Trump was highly influenced by it, or it's the most incredible coincidence that people have ever seen.
Among various initiatives highlighted in Project 2025, DOGE has followed through on cutting the United States Agency for International Development budget by $7 billion, as well as slashing the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's budget by $68 million.
While the Trump administration is standing strong on their methods to cut government spending, the administration has drawn criticism from those that believe government spending has not improved. As this current administration continues to make changes, we will keep you updated on how that might affect you. Nick Austin, Update News.
A major fire at an East Bay facility last month has caused a sudden spike in gas prices, felt across the bay. Reporter Justin Ray went out to see how the San Jose State community is handling it.
In February, the Martinez refinery facility caught on fire, causing gas prices across the Bay Area to rise a bit unexpectedly.
On February 1st, an oil refining facility in Martinez, California, caught on fire caused by a hydrocarbon leak. This fire created a major setback in preparing California's special blend of gasoline. For over 20 years, the Environmental Protection Agency has required a reformulated gasoline that has lowered the state's gas emission levels but has raised the price per gallon compared to other states, according to the agency's Air Resources Board. Juan Carlos Camarillo commutes 5 days a week to school from Watsonville and says that he spends around $160 a week just on gas alone.
It gets scary, but at the same time, I think I have a small car that doesn't waste a lot of gas. So, in a way, I'm blessed with that part that I don't have to spend more than I need to.
With gas being one of the many expenses for college students, many feel as though they are running out of options to save money on gas.
I do try to find the cheapest gas station I can using Google Maps and other resources, but that goes so far.
With very limited options for lowering prices, some experts believe that one way we can lower our gas costs comes down to our usage.
Honestly, if we truly wanted to reduce the price of gas, we would reduce how much of it we use.
With California's blend showing positive effects towards gas emissions, members of the state are left with very limited options in combating the price and balancing environmental protections. In San Jose, I'm Justin Ray, Update News.
Students from across the Bay Area gathered in Berkeley to discuss modern political issues. I have more in the story.
Bridge USA is a national organization dedicated to providing a space for students with opposing political views to come together and discuss politics. A conference was held at UC Berkeley for the organization's Bay Area chapters. The participants came together and held conversations about several debated areas of policy and society.
As an organization, nonpartisan, but our members come from all different walks of life, all different political ideologies. In my own chapter at Berkeley, we have liberals, conservatives, libertarians. We've even had a couple of communists.
During the event, participants discussed controversial areas of policy and politics, such as foreign policy affairs, gun control, immigration, and more. The activities held were geared towards fostering productive discussions and diverse opinions.
There's so little places where people can meet and have civil dialogues anymore. It's not like maybe the old days when you could just meet at like a coffee house. And, well, we all need some place to meet and just to talk about things.
Bridge the Bay is held once a semester with different hosting universities each time. The previous semester's Bridge the Bay was hosted by Stanford University.
So I thought it was really interesting joining a space where political talk is encouraged and also you can learn from people.
Bridge USA continues to provide a safe space for students from all backgrounds and ideologies to have productive conversation about politics.
Want to take a trip across the globe? Head across the world in our reporter Sophie Cipriano's segment, Spinning Around the Sphere, where she will inform you about the major headlines across the globe. Take it away, Sophie.
Thanks, Sean. Starting this week off with a turbulent week for the United States economy and its three largest trading partners. On Tuesday, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that it will be going forward with a 25% tariff on Canadian and Mexican goods and a 10% tariff on Canadian energy. As for China, the tariffs increased from 10% to 20%. According to the U.S. White House, President Trump decided to implement these tariffs to hold Mexico, Canada, and China accountable for illegal immigration and fentanyl allegedly coming from these countries. In a statement by the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he stated, "Canada will not let these unjustified decisions go unanswered and will be responding with the same 25% tariffs against billions of American goods." Leaders in Beijing reacted by adding 10 to 15% tariffs on U.S. agricultural imports that will start next week. This morning, an unexpected twist on President Trump's Truth Socials. He announced a suspension of the tariffs on Mexico and said that he will be pausing the tariffs on most Mexican goods. And just moments ago, Trump announced the same tariff suspension on Canadian goods that fall under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement until April 2nd. This concludes Spinning Around the Sphere with Sophie. Tune into next week for the latest headlines.
Protests against the Trump administration and Elon Musk continue to rise here in the Bay. Our reporter, Madison Wilbur, takes us to the one in Palo Alto that had protesters walking up to Tesla headquarters.
Drums, chants, and picket signs filled the air on Friday in Palo Alto.
Neighbors from across the Bay gathered to protest against Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the action the Trump administration is taking in several areas, including healthcare and immigration.
This is how dictatorships start. This is what we were warned about, and it's coming true. You can be on the right side of history, or you can be complacent. I don't want to be complacent. We cannot afford to be complacent.
The group marched to the front of the Tesla headquarters on Hanover Street, stopping just shy of the front doors, where Tesla security was present alongside Palo Alto police. We reached out to Tesla for comment, but they did not reply. Within the protesters was San Jose District 5 City Council member Peter Ortiz.
We are sending a message to the oligarchs here in the United States, right, that your time is coming, right, that we the people run this country, not billionaires and not the rich.
Through the heat of the day, emotion poured out of protesters who stepped forward to speak on why they were there. A recurring theme for many of them was that this was just the beginning. For Sanjay, he said these actions not only affect his children, but his grandchildren. And that is why he is so passionate.
You know, if they think that they're going to rape and pillage the coffers to line the pockets of the rich, well, they got another thing coming.
During this march, there were multiple issues and complaints voiced, including but not limited to immigration, Medicare, DOGE, and more. There were no conflicts between Palo Alto police and protesters, nor Tesla security. In Palo Alto, this is Madison Wilbur, Update News.
We'll have more when we come back.
Feeling a little hungry for some woman empowerment? See what Girl Scouts are doing about it. Coming up.
Plus, has artificial intelligence taken a bigger role in the SJSU library? Find out more about this new librarian up next.
Should you bring out your umbrella? I'll be letting you know in this week's forecast.
March is Women's History Month, a time where the contributions and triumphs of women are celebrated. The Girl Scouts of America are known for their cookie program. However, they also provide young women with the tools they need to become successful future leaders. How do they help uplift the next generation? Reporter Isabella Dandoy has more on the story.
It's Girl Scout cookie season. The Northern California accommodates 46,000 volunteers across 19 counties from Gilroy to the Oregon border. To Girl Scout Ariana Lim, the cookie program is about more than the sweet treat.
It's good experience with the cookies and overall getting to know people because I've talked to a bunch of strangers.
The Girl Scouts mission goes beyond Savannah Smiles and Thin Mints. Through their practice, Ariana believes her troop promotes confidence, leadership, and community.
It really helped me because now I'm comfortable and I'm not scared to talk about if someone has an issue or if they just really need help in general.
Whether it's the people skills they learn or the long-lasting friendships they make, Girl Scouts like Ariana value fellowship. Troop leader Jocelyn Corpus mentors 8 Girl Scouts in the North San Jose region.
There's just a lot that with like females just in general, they keep internally. And so I want to ensure, like, even if it's my little subset of girls that I lead as a troop, I want them to know that they have a voice.
Before becoming a Spartan, Deepti Gupta was a Girl Scout from middle school to high school. She says, in addition to learning money and people skills, her experience has made her more open-minded and empowered.
That's also, I think, what's made me join more female-oriented like organizations here. Like I'm in Society of Women Engineers, just because I know like it's nice to have that community of women.
The Girl Scouts of America are aiming to create the next generation of trailblazers to take on the world. Happy Women's History Month. In San Jose, I'm Isabella Dandoy, Update News.
San Jose State University has introduced a new position in an effort to help customers after hours when there is no librarian available. Reporter Larry Larkin is live with the story.
San Jose State University introduced a new position this January at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Library. It's called the Artificial Intelligence Librarian.
Teresli Rodriguez is SJSU's first ever AI librarian. As the AI librarian, she researches, tests AI tools, answers questions about AI from students, faculty, and staff, and evaluates AI tools coming into the library. She spoke about what an honor it is to be SJSU's first ever AI librarian.
It's exciting, challenging, since it is a brand new role in the library and also in the librarian field itself. I get to shape what AI librarianship looks like.
Rodriguez has worked in the library since 2020. Before becoming SJSU's AI librarian, she was the user experience librarian. One new feature that exists at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Library is something called KeenBot GPT. It is a service the library provides to help customers provide essential library information and assistance when the library is closed after hours. I spoke to the chair who told me about what the new position will mean for the librarians.
Having a full-time AI librarian is going to be wonderful for all of us, all the librarians, because she's going to be able to devote all her time to exploring artificial intelligence.
The dean of the library spoke about some of the new things that exist with the AI librarian.
We have the luxury of having a person who is dedicated to thinking through the questions around AI and how they impact the scholarly process for our students and faculty, and for the CSU and for SJSU in particular.
Rodriguez will work with AI such as KeenBot GPT to ensure it provides customers with library services after closing hours. The library's website says that while KeenBot GPT strives to be helpful, it should not be considered a replacement for librarian expertise. Reporting live from San Jose State, Larry Larkin, Update News.
An update on a story from last semester. The College of Information, Data, and Society has chosen a new dean. Who is he, and what is his plan for the new college? Reporter Mohammed Najimi has more on this story.
Dr. Mehrdad Aliasgari, Computer Science and Engineering Department Chair at Cal State Long Beach, is soon to become the new dean for the College of Information, Data, and Society. He will officially step into his role on June 2nd and is counting the days until that moment.
That excitement is because I know I'm going to step into an amazing group of people. Stepping among amazing group of people, and at the perfect time.
Dr. Aliasgari says his core value is education being the key to success.
I would like to be part of creating affordable, high-quality educational programs for students who come from similar backgrounds like me.
Dr. Vishnu Pendiala, a professor for the new college, shares his thoughts on the incoming dean.
I was looking at his profile, and he started teaching in 2000, about 12 years ago, I think. So I think he brings that fresh perspective.
Dr. Pendiala says he appreciates that the dean is a part of the CSU system and has a computer science background. Dr. Cynthia Teniente Matson, president of San Jose State, shared what is to be expected from the new college.
A new minor as well as some new coursework to bring AI across the curriculum in addition to what we already have in all the other schools and colleges. So it's a really exciting time.
Dr. Aliasgari says he aims to expand the college with more internship and industry opportunities. He also is excited for the future of the college. At San Jose State, Mohammed Najimi, Update News.
Hey Sean, what's the weather been like lately?
You know, I'm not sure, but Isabella can answer that question in this week's weather forecast.
Hello, I'm Isabella Dandoy. This is this week's forecast. What to expect the next 5 days? We'll be having midweek rain chances, continuing with higher rain totals for a change likely to be hitting areas in south of San Francisco. Clear skies will also make their return for Friday and Saturday, allowing temperatures to rebound for a short time. And more rain will be possible by late Sunday, heading into Monday, and rainfall estimates are likely to be highest around the Santa Cruz Mountains and southward as our midweek storm takes an approach towards central and southern California. Showers should begin winding down on Thursday with clearing into the weekend. Then, more rain could be possible later on Sunday into early next week. For a 7-day forecast in Santa Cruz, we will have some weekend warming, especially on Saturday with 61 and 60 degrees. In our Inner Bay and Oakland temps, we'll also be seeing a slight boost into the weekend at 64 degrees. And in San Francisco and coastal temps, we should be peaking around Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the high 60s, and rain will be possible by the end of the weekend. And in San Jose, it'll be cool, cloudy, and rainy at times, but on Saturday and Sunday, we'll have some sun. That was this week's forecast. Back to the desk.
When we come back, there's something cooking on this week's segment of Update Eats that'll leave your stomach growling. Next.
And, are all the squirrels on campus going nuts? Stay tuned for more details.
Coming up on Spartan Sports Central, it's tournament week. Stay tuned to find out when and where.
Reporter Justin Ray is back again with his segment, Update Eats, bringing you some of the stories behind restaurants located right here in the Bay Area. What you got for us, Justin?
Hello everyone and welcome back to Update Eats. This week's edition, we take you to Oli Oli Hawaiian Barbecue, located in East Side San Jose, right on Capitol Expressway. Let's go see what they got.
Hi, my name's first name is Hua Chan and last name is Jay, and I'm the owner of the Oli Oli Hawaiian Barbecue.
Oli Oli Hawaiian Barbecue has been open for almost 2 years now. Zhang ultimately opened Oli Oli after he fell in love with the Hawaiian cuisine, despite not having much of a background from the islands. He is an immigrant from China, and once he arrived here in the States, things were not as easy as he thought. The process of establishing his restaurant took over 2 years to finally be open for business, primarily due to the language barrier between him and the city. He also said some of the most popular dishes that people come for are the chicken katsu, the masubi, and garlic shrimp, but claims his favorite has got to be the loco moco. That's going to conclude this week's episode of Update Eats, and be sure to tune into my next episode that you're not going to want to miss.
San Jose State's campus has its own ecosystem, including birds, cats, and squirrels. I observed the campus squirrels to learn more. Next to Tower Lawn at Hugh Gillis Hall are dozens of squirrels. While hundreds of students walk to class, they wait in their burrows until the passing period is over. Then they surface and probe the grass, bushes, and trees for food, such as nuts or fungi. They're not shy. If you sit still, they'll approach to see if you have food. Residents and students often feed them nuts or seeds.
And then some of them are very nice and very gentle. Especially this one down here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but do you want one? Oh, you're the gentle one, okay.
The two species on campus are not native to San Jose, the eastern gray squirrel and the fox squirrel.
They were originally brought here by people and released into parks and college campuses.
Dr. Castillo also says it's not a good idea to feed them. According to the National Park Service, they may lose their healthy fear of humans and become aggressive. Sacramento State also has a sizable squirrel population. Sonia Tinoco lives near the campus and leaves food for them outside her house. She's seen them be aggressive, but not towards her.
I've noticed 2 gray squirrels be at the balcony at the same time and 2 brown ones being there at the same time, and they don't fight each other. But the gray and the brown ones fight each other.
When they're not fighting, she describes them as playful, ditzy, and adventurous.
They're very curious of like their surroundings. They do have a lot of fight or flight though.
Squirrels high in the trees loudly squeak to warn those on the ground of predators. When interacting with them, be sure to remain respectful or else they'll retreat underground.
The Mountain West Conference tournament is coming up for both San Jose State's men's and women's basketball teams. Larry Larkin has more details at the big board in this week's edition of Spartan Sports Central.
Welcome to Spartan Sports Central. I'm Larry Larkin. San Jose State Spartans women's basketball will head to Las Vegas for the Mountain West Conference tournament as the 11th seed. They're 10-21 this season and 3-15 in conference play. They'll face 6th-seeded Fresno State in the first round on Sunday at 7 p.m. The Spartans lost both games against the Bulldogs this season. On to women's water polo. The 18th-ranked Spartans lost Saturday 18-11 to the number 5 Cal. Darcy Spark scored her 100th career goal during the game. She has 102 career goals, putting her 10 goals shy of tying current San Jose State head coach Beth Harberts for first on the program's all-time list. Next up for the Spartans, a home game against UCLA at 1 p.m. on March 15th. On to women's soccer. Tina Estrada resigned as San Jose State's head coach last Thursday. And now, it's time for the Spartan Showcase, the sport of the week. It's the men's basketball team who has 1 game remaining before the Mountain West tournament. It's at home Saturday against Fresno State. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. After that, they'll head to Las Vegas for the Mountain West tournament as the 8th seed, where they'll take on 9th seed of Wyoming in the first round. Tip-off of that game is 11 a.m. Wednesday. The Spartans won both games against the Cowboys this season. The Spartans are 13-18 overall this season and 6-13 in conference play. One key for the Spartans will be their health. They play without 3 starters and had only 7 active players in their last game Tuesday at Colorado State. That's a wrap for this week's edition of Spartan Sports Central. Now back to the desk.
Hey Sean, what's your favorite study drink? Mine is coffee.
Oh, I love me some honey citron and ginger tea. Let's see what some of the Spartans are sipping on.
I like to drink Gatorade Zero Ice Blue.
Usually, I like to go with boba or just water.
Coffee. Mine would be ice water, ice cold water to wake up my body and re-lock in.
I like to drink either milk or water.
Might just have tea, unsweetened, just pure tea without anything. If it's something intensive or if I need to focus for a long time, I might have a cup of coffee with milk.
My preferred drink is a cup of coffee with 1 tablespoon of sugar, and that's it.
When I'm studying, I really prefer drinking matcha lattes because it's very refreshing.
And that does it for this week's edition of Update News.
For all of us here, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.